All right.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Grigory Pikarski here
Priscilla Elias.
with Vesta Preferred. We are going to be having a nice conversation today. We're going to be going over the top news stories on what we think is the most pertinent to understand and know what's going on in this crazy and ever-changing real estate landscape. Also, we're going to have our preferred lender on to kind of go over what is going on in today's interest rate market and what you should be gearing up and listening to if you're thinking about potentially buying, investing, you're just confused about what's going on in the market. If you're consistently asking, how's the market? What's going on? The idea is that by the end of the show, you'll know a little bit more about that answer. And then we're going to finish off with some fun, some good stories.
Yeah.
Priscilla, how you doing?
Good, how about you?
Good. You ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's get into the first story. All right, so this is the story. I feel like it is the coming of the times for real estate. I mean, this is the NAR, the National Association of Realtors, is in a class action lawsuit right now. One of two, potentially a third coming, about how they handle buyer commissions.
Yeah.
This is all pertaining to the participation rule that NAR has. In the participation rule, it states that you, if you're a part of the NAR and there's 1.6 million members, you have to, or at least you had to, be able to, by the listing side, pay the buyer's broker. Now, the first is Moeller versus NAR, and then Sitzker versus Burnett versus NAR. Those are the two main class action lawsuits that are going on right now that are fighting that. The whole idea here is that sellers say that they should not have to be forced to pay the buy side commission. This is big. I mean, this is just the way that we've been operating. This is the whole story about how real estate works in the U.S. And they're trying to unravel this. Now, a lot of people might be saying, okay, this is just a blitz to get a lot of money, and it's a way to essentially unravel an entire industry. But, I mean, they wouldn't have gotten class action lawsuit if they didn't see this as a real issue. Now, a few things to kind of think about. The way that buyer commissions, if this goes through, the way that it's going to happen is that the seller is going to then make it into a free market economy on what they think that they should be paying the buyer's agent. Now, people love to discount what we do. They love to look at, because it's so real in regards to what we get paid, because we're a line item when it comes to a closing table, right? So nobody understands that we don't make any money until the closing table.
Exactly.
So all that time spent, if you don't close in the house, we're not getting paid, right? But because it's so evident right there what we get paid, it is always a topic of conversation of, do we get paid too much? Are we worth what we're paid? I have a lot of thoughts on, I think a lot of brokers are not worth the money that they're paid, honestly.
No, they are not well trained.
Not well trained. And that's a whole conversation to be had for a different day. But the reality is, if this goes through and and the plaintiffs win, half of the industry is going to be out of work.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the way this works. You have a buyer, right? All of these online platforms, you have Zillow, you have all of these massive online portals. Their whole business model is selling leads to buyers agents. What's going to happen to them? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole business model is going to have to change and go up. I also think that people are short-sighted when they think that they're going to save a few bucks up front. What's really happening is they're going to take away the free market. And imagine half of a market's demand that's bringing you buyers goes away, what's going to naturally happen? You're not going to have the type of demand and interest for your home, which right now you put it on the MLS, you're getting the massive amount of exposure. You're essentially being first one to bring me the best offer wins. So sellers are benefiting in that regard. So there's a lot of questions and a lot of curiosity about what's going to end up happening. I mean, right now it's actually being actively discussed. The biggest names in real estate are on. Gary Keller of Keller Williams is testifying. I mean, this is big. This is the Super Bowl for real estate. This is the moment, right? So I I think that we're in a place of a lot of people are nervous. They don't know. Kind of what as an operating agent, what do you feel about it?
I feel like the sellers don't know the background of the buyer's agent side because they think we're just looking for a buyer, but actually we're doing so many other things like educating ourselves to be a better professional, but at the same time we're hiring platforms to get leads and good leads for them. And they don't see that. And at the same time, buyers don't also see what we do.
Yeah.
And maybe they are going to start to negotiate our commission, like paying less for us.
Yes. So that's the thing is it's not going to be that they're going to be paying less for us. There's going to be naturally a movement of brokers that are going to discount themselves to get more business,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be one option is it's going to be a race to the bottom. Another option is that if there is a potential for a buyer agent, or if there's less buyer agents and we start to control more of the inflow, well, we might be able to get paid more money.
Yeah.
Right? So it might become more expensive because then we are starting to control the conversation, right? So it's a real question mark. I mean, you had RE/MAX fall out of the lawsuit. They settled at $55 million just to not be part, not to cancel this, but not to be a part of it. Anywhere, $90 million. They paid to be out of this lawsuit. Now there is a $4 billion potential for payout. If this is NAR's moment. NAR's whole job is to do two things. It is to protect the representation for buyers and sellers, right? So it means to protect their interests, but also our jobs. So if NAR can't protect us in this regard, what's going to happen to NAR? And one of the things, by the way, when people are these companies are RE/MAX, Redfin, all of these companies that are huge, they are walking away from NAR membership. What's going to happen to it's the number one trade organization, 1.6 million. When all of these people, they potentially could lose. I saw a number 1 million members. What's going to happen? It's wild. So that is on the horizon. We are watching what's happening. It is actively being contested. It's getting heated in the courtroom. I mean, this is a once in a generation, if not even less, type of industry shakeup when it comes to what's going on, and it's going to happen quick. So keep your eye on that. All right, going on to our next story. This was interesting.
This is nice.
Yeah, so Nepo home buyers. There's a Redfin came out that 40% of buyers under 30 have received family money for down payments. Now, I don't think that comes as a surprise. I mean, we operate with a lot of buyers. We represent a lot of buyers. And we also operate in a very high cost environment, Chicago, right? Like our average home sale at Vesta is mid 400s, right? So you're naturally going to be getting more expensive properties, and you just need more money of a down payment. But this study has said that 40% of buyers under 30, which by the way, good for them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I bought my house. I think I was at 30, 31. I just barely was figuring myself out as an adult. So anyone below 30 buying already is thinking ahead of the game. But 40% of those buyers need to get money from their family. And if that is an increasing number, right, and it is, that should be raising alarms when it comes to the affordability of our overall economy when it comes to home buying. There's a few different things that are playing into this. Starter homes are increasingly more unaffordable. You have less supply, right? Higher interest rates, right? So even though buyers are falling off because of these high interest rates, the supply isn't keeping up with that. So we're still getting increase in the cost of homes, making it increasingly unaffordable because it's not just interest rates that are handling the cost of homes. Interest rate also is signifying how expensive things are in the market in general. So people are saving less money. And we have to always remember that first generation home buyers, right? This is the way that people start their rise in their personal net worth, right? The best way to be able to ensure a future net worth for yourself is to buy a home. And if less people can do that, the American dream is just starting to go further and further away. We work with a lot of first-time home buyers. What are you seeing out there?
If you track all the generation from the past, I can understand why the young people now need help from their family, because let's be honest, they are just starting their career right now. And to get a new job, they have to have BA, masters. They have to speak 3 languages. It's hard to get a job with a good income. And that's why I see they having help from their family.
Yeah. You know, there was actually a point that was discussed here, is that right here, homeownership odds set at birth. And I was thinking about that, right? Because at the end of the day, how nice is it to be able to say, I'm going to get money from my parents?
It's so nice.
It is a luxury.
Yeah.
And this right here really hit home to me, because it really kind of underlines the true concern here, because when we're talking about classes and we're talking about the separation of those classes, right? It starts truly at birth. Mm-hmm. And when we're talking about a home is the beginning of someone's net worth, if you're able to get money from the past generation to continue that wealth gain, right? It just continues this prevalence of people that haven't had a chance to be able to get the opportunities that others have had. And then you're leveling up all this more expensive economy and all of this stuff. You're just starting to get away and giving people this desperation that they're never going to be able to get a part of the home ownership. Now, one thing I do want to say, if you're watching this right now and you're thinking about it, there's a lot of options when it comes to lower amount down for home buyers. There's a lot of options right now. There's a lot of homes that are sitting as well, right? Yes, inventory is down, but what I'm finding is that the inventory that is on the market, that's been on the market, sellers are really willing to negotiate. And we could buy rates down, which is the monthly cost. You can have less amount down. I mean, you can do as little as 3.5% down for some loans. There's options for you out there. So don't get despair. If you're working hard and your dream is to buy a home, there's still options for you. So keep that head up, keep those shoulders back. There's ways to get it done. But this is something that really kind of started to resonate when I saw it. I'm like, okay, this is something that we really need to start thinking about and talking about. And we are. I don't really know what the solution is going to be outside of people making more money, but people are making less money because everything is more expensive.
Yeah.
So we got to turn this around. Okay, Priscilla, take it away. I want you to talk about the exciting news for Illinois.
Yeah, we're having a clean energy. Biden is investing in 16 states with the hydrogen, and Illinois is one of the states. We are having a group of Illinois, Michigan, and Indiana together in a hub here. And this is exciting because we are trying to combat the climate change, at least help a little bit. And I'm very excited. I can see the reason for us to avoid fossil fuels and the coal. For me, it's amazing.
Yeah. I talked about this a month or so back. I claimed that Illinois was geared up to be one of the best spots, if not the best spot, to be able to, because we have climate change. It's real. Yeah. It's happening, right? There is, everything from wildfires to flooding to overheat, right? And Chicago is uniquely positioned, just geographically, where it's almost like the Goldilocks, right?
Yeah,
we're not too north, we're not too south. We have a huge body of water right next to us. So Biden choosing Illinois is a place to start to develop the future for replacing fossil fuels. Just makes sense, right? They could have probably chosen a better photo of him. I don't know why they keep choosing photos of Biden, just like looking, right? Come on, man, come on. But anyways, it's really exciting. It's a big number. It's between, obviously, 13 individual places that got the $7 billion.
No, 16.
16. So, it's not going to be like this huge investment that is just one $7 billion investment into Illinois, but it's just going to help with the story that Illinois has a lot to offer when it comes to this type of development. You have a lot of interesting things happening around here that is particularly pertaining to knowing that in the next 10, 15, 20 years, I don't know if there's a better city position to be able to really take advantage of the unnecessary, unfortunate rise in climate change. And Illinois is just positioned in a way where we're, in my opinion, protected in a way. So I think that your money is just going to go further here, and it's going to be more protected, right? So we don't have these crazy increases in insurance. I mean, you have some homes in California that can't even get insurance now because of wildfire. It's wild.
No, wildfire, earthquake, there's a combo over there. Here in Illinois, the Midwest Hub, they will receive $1 billion, and we will use hydrogen in steel and gas production, power generation, heavy duty transportation, and sustainable aviation fuel.
All right.
The hub plans will use renewable energy, which is solar and wind, natural gas, and nuclear energy.
All right, let's go. Illinois. Let's fucking go. All right. So let's go, and we want to give the mic over to our main man, Kyle Ernst, with Stonehaven. Let me just unmute him. Where we want to go over. Kyle, can you hear us? Oh, hold on. Uh-oh. Kyle, what I want to do is, I thought we had...
the speaker?
The speaker. Let me dial you in.
Audio settings?
Kyle, can you hear us? You can hear us? Oh, man. Okay. Here, while we're doing that... So why don't you dive into a fun story?
All right.
Yeah. Go into the fun story.
In Miami, there is a lady. Her name is Rosa Nelhammer. She's been working in real estate for 56 years. And
56 years.
She turned this year 104 years. Can you imagine?
104?
Can you imagine you in your 100 working in real estate, selling properties? And having so many energy, like, what's the secret for that? So Rosa, she was born in Mississippi in 1919, and during the early years of the Second War, she moved to Ohio, and then she moved to South Carolina. She met her husband, and they lived in Japan for a little bit. In 1955, they came back to America, and they moved to Florida, and that's how she started her career in real estate. The reason she decided to be in real estate is because she moved so much in states and other country that she realized that was an inspiration for her to start her career. And guess how old she was?
I don't know.
She was 48 years old when she
started.
When she started.
Did she say why she started so late in life?
She didn't say that, but this is an inspiration for all of us when we think we have to be in our 20s to start our career. Like, look at her. She's after 40, and she started her career.
And she's loved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
think, hold on.
You got it?
I think so.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for bearing with us here. This is our first attempt at this, so it's only going to get better from here. All right, Kyle, sing us a beautiful song.
Oh, he's in the middle of us.
Oh man, what we got going on over there?
All right, can we?
Echo. You hear my echo?
No, we actually can't hear your echo, so I'm happy that it's on your side.
Perfect.
All right. So I'm going to hold you up to the mic just so maybe people hear you. Can we just get a quick update on where we're at with interest rates?
Okay, interest rate, high. Congratulations. We are at high 7s right now.
High 7s right now, okay.
Pretty much at the peak.
Okay.
We're coming down.
You think we're going to come down?
We will come down if we're here probably estimated our early next year we just start getting that dip that we've been waiting for over the last 6 to 8 months.
Okay, so there's always these talks about that we're about to hit 8%. We're about to hit all these records. This is going to be a fantastic, terrible record to break. Do you think we're going to see interest rates in the 8%?
I think a lot of lenders out there already are at mid 8% rate. I think they'll be there for probably the next upcoming, couple of months or so. But I think that really didn't get much higher than we're at today. So this is going to help people that buy now that in the foreseeable future, 2, 3, 4 months, maybe come back down and finance out of that rate into what we project to be approximately a percent decrease in rate by spring, summer.
Okay, so about 1% or so decrease by spring or summer. Okay, so what is it? It's marry the house, date the rate. The worst thing to come out of this thing. But this is you're feeling that if people buy now, right? So like there was actually a video. I'm sure that everybody, well, maybe not everybody, but Barbara Corcoran came out and was like, "This is the best time to buy ever," and she got a lot of heat for that because essentially her advice was marry the house, date the rate, right? But you're and people are just saying like, how can you say that? Interest rates are so high, it's so unaffordable. But I mean, I tend to agree where don't buy the first house you see. I mean, negotiate and be very diligent on making sure that you're getting a really good deal because this is deal market time. Yes, you're going to get hit with a higher interest rate, but if you buy and you get an amazing deal, right? That is the main thing that Barbara Corcoran forgot to say is if you get an amazing deal and you buy now, you're going to get in a lock in a higher interest rate or potentially get the seller to pay it down, and then you'll be able to refinance, hopefully, let's call it in the next 6 to 9 months.
Absolutely. And what we're projecting is probably one of the highest appreciation that we're going to see from fall, winter, to spring, summer because of the lack of supply and inventory, and then a dip in rates that somebody buying a property at $500,000 today could easily be $560,000 come spring, summer. So when people are sitting waiting for interest rates to drop, what they don't realize is we're going to potentially lose on that 10% potential equity that they will have gained if they bought now. And if you really look at the numbers, it's all about the mortgage. If somebody's buying today at a property at $500,000 at these high rates, when they go to buy 6 8 months later because they thought rates were too high, well, now that same property is probably gone, but it's a similar property. It's going to be worth 10% more, and now the mortgage balance or their mortgage they're going to get is going to be that much higher, and even though rates have gone down 1%, their payment is going to be the exact same as it would have been if they bought today at a much lower price.
No, perfectly said.
So by buying now, they can have a house, gain equity, and then when the rates come down, they refinance and they get that rate anywhere. So it's a tremendous amount of appreciation in equity that people are going to be losing out on if they don't act now if they're in the market to stop for and buy.
No, thank you for that. So like, I think that everybody forgets the economic mindset right when the pandemic was beginning, right? We're going to wait for the rate. This is going to be the housing market's going to crash. I'm going to buy it. It's the new 2008, 2009 market. And what ended up happening is because inventory stayed low, right? And so many buyers came in, all that happened is a surge. Now, back then, you could have basically gotten free money, right? So interest rates were way down. So yes, you had a bigger pool of buyers. But the biggest issue right now is supply is so down. So that when all the people are saying that even if the moment we scratch 5% interest rates, and I feel like it'd be in low 6s at this point, there's going to be such a surge back because there's so many people that have been waiting. And rents, by the way, are still up.
Yeah.
They're still super expensive. So it's not like it's a better idea to still rent. People are and people have cash, right? So like the second it becomes a little bit more affordable, you're just going to see the surge in pricing. And you're absolutely right. I mean, it's like, would you rather have a bit of a lower interest rate but $50,000 to $80,000 more of debt? Or would you rather have a higher interest rate, lower debt, and then be able to refinance? I mean, you have a lot more flexibility on option number 2. So that's great. Now, the last thing I wanted to touch base on, we talked about this last week, massive news about what I think is going to save Q4 and going into Q1 is the 5% down for multi-units, right? So that is huge news because before you had, the only option you had was FHA. It was really difficult to get properties to be able to because of the sustainability test. Exactly. Sorry about that. But that went away. So now you have way higher limits in regards to what you can buy for multi-units. And you can come in at 5% down if you're a primary owner. That is pretty incredible. And that is one way that you can hedge the idea of, I have high interest rates. It's really a much higher holding cost. Okay, well, why don't you get this multi-unit and then be able to get 2-3 other units to pay down your mortgage, right? So are you seeing a lot of interest in that right now?
We already have 12 separate clients that are already looking at opinion properties.
How many?
It needs to be 12.
12. Okay, and that's within a week. I mean, I had a quick little thing about it last week. I got a buyer from it, right? It's people need to know. And I said this about the NEPA home buyers. I'm saying this about people that are feeling despair. There's options for you. There just are. It's still a great idea to buy a home if you can make sure that you buy it right. I always say, you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. So you have to buy right. That is literally the mindset right now that you have to come in as an investor with anything you're looking to buy, even if you're for primary home own, and understand that you're still spending money on housing one way or another, either renting or buying. And you just got to take a look at how the finances work. If you have cash and you can make it work, there's a lot of good options still out there to be able to buy. And like Kyle said, the chances of a high increase in values coming up in the next 6 to 9 months, ride that wave and be able to get it into your own pocket, right? Everybody's so right now in their minds, right now, what is it going to cost me today? Everybody forgets about the long journey of real estate. Everybody makes money in real estate over a long period of time. It is not a short sprint game. That's what it is. Kyle, anything else you want to share before we kick you off?
No, all good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Dude, thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Okay. Well,
Bye.
that was interesting.
Yeah, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
People of Chicago, if you guys want to negotiate price, that's the perfect time. It's a Q4. Q4, we don't have that many demand. We don't have that many competition. Most of the sellers, they usually hold off their properties to sell in spring and summer. And why? Because they can increase the price.
Right.
And the sellers that are selling their property now in Q4, there is a reason they are motivated to sell. And this is the perfect time to negotiate the price. I have a client, I met them in the last spring, and they realized how expensive and how many multiple offers the properties were getting. And they were like, Priscilla, I heard you. Let's wait for the Q4.
Mm-hmm.
Q4 is here. Show them so many properties, but there's always something missing.
Of course.
And I told them, like, if you want everything, buy a lot and build your property. But now they're saying, no, we're going to wait for more inventory in summer.
Yeah.
And I told them, it's totally fine. I'll do whatever you want. But if you want to negotiate the price, Q4. And this is the time. So, guys, if you want to negotiate the price, Q4 is the time.
Yeah, but just to kind of circle that up, I mean, negotiate the price, but you go in with the mindset to still get the home that you want.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, it's going to take you a little longer to shop, but don't shut down and wait. Right. At the end of the day, it's like, just keep your options open. And if the right place pops up, you're going to have less demand. So you're going to have less competition, and you're going to be able to get a really good deal and start thinking about, maybe it doesn't need to be perfect. Maybe you should put a little bit of work into it, because I'm finding buyers on average don't want to put any work into a home.
Exactly.
So if you just need to do a little bit of love, a little bit of paint, a little bit of TLC to the home, don't have the short-term mindset that it's not worth it unless it's perfect, right? You're going to pay up for that, and it's going to be a mistake. All right, so let's just go real. I wanna still give our Rosa the love that she deserves. Let's go to that article that I have right now. So this is Rosa. Look at Rosa. Look at how happy she is. Look at that.
Yeah.
My
look how many
goodness.
love she has around
So much
her.
love. So, did you say it was her birthday?
Her birthday was on October 2nd. She's a Libra.
Happy
Happy birthday, Rosa.
Rosa. Way to go. Way to represent for our industry. All right. Now, the final story. And this is something that a lot of people have been reporting on.
And you were so proud to say about that, right?
What's that?
This deal.
Yeah, the Condé Nast Traveler magazine voted Chicago the best big city for the 7th year in a row. 7 years in a row. When is it just like, are we just the best city moving forward? And then this is the best city in the U.S. When does it just become like known that we're just the best city? Like, is it going to be take 10 years in a row? Because people don't give us the love and the respect that we deserve. The amount of comments, the kind of hate that you get from people talking that crap. That it's like, you know, and it's always people that like just, they don't get it. They don't know, right? Like it's people that either, you know, don't live in the, for sure people that don't live in the city, right? Love the headlines of all of the, you know, we're all big cities have their problems and their issues.
Yeah.
But we still, the food, the culture, the parks, everything that we have for our residents here. This is the best city
The
in
massive
the world.
lake that looks like an ocean.
No, I mean it's literally I've had tours where clients just weren't used to Chicago and they're like, "What ocean is that?" And I'm like, "That's Lake Michigan, baby. That's our mini ocean right there. Let's go."
You know what is interesting? In elementary school, in geography class, I had to draw the Lake Michigan and all the big lakes.
In Brazil?
In Brazil.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. And when I came to Chicago, I was like, that's the lake I drew a lot of times.
There it is. There it is. Chicago, I love you. You keep bringing all of the best stuff into my life. I started my career here. I started my family here. You know, I will fight for Chicago forever. Chicago is my heart. It is the best city in the whole wide world. We got the best people. You know, we always back each other up. You know, anybody that talks crap about our city, we destroy because they don't know what they're talking about.
I think they're talking about the weather.
Yeah, I mean, like, but
the
weather
weather's brutal.
weather keeps the weak ones out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just does. So to me, it's like, you know, yeah, people can hate on the weather, but they just always talk. People talk. It's unnecessary. Chicago's the best. We've won again. It's no surprise. It is what we've always known here in the city. We are the best. So if you're coming to Chicago, we welcome you. If you want to hate on Chicago, stay the hell out of my city. And we don't need you. We don't need you. We got each other.
Exactly.
We got each other. All right. Well, that's all we got. Thank you all for joining us. Hopefully this was good stuff. We will get our technical difficulties figured out. And we will continue on. Comment. Let us know what you guys think. If you guys want us to report on other stuff, we are here for you.
Yeah, this is just the beginning.
Just the beginning.